have to wonder, with Jay Glazer's report about the Eagles getting offers for tight ends, is it possible that Zach Ertz will be traded at some point here? Could this have been his final game as an Eagle? So that was something that I really noticed. And look, you have to give credit for this team fighting back in these second halves this week and last week, but they have to figure out what is going on.
Within the next 3 weeks, we're potentially going to see a lot of players moving on to new teams, and unfortunately a huge symptom of that is some of the most historic and probably some of the most memorable players to a specific franchise might be included in that as well. And in today's case, that's exactly what happened. Now, before we get to the content, do me a favor and sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Consider subscribing and turning on our notifications, because we are on the grind to 500,000 subscribers. Make sure you're followed on my brand new Twitter, my brand new TikTok page at Mikerophone NFL, and my Instagram at The Flight Mike, because we tend to do giveaways for Twitter followers and Instagram followers, and on TikTok we do 1-minute shorts of this type of content. Now that we get all of that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? There are times where I look at a specific organization and I truly feel empathetic towards that team's franchise quarterback, because sometimes the team clearly doesn't know how to build around said franchise quarterback. A good example of this is the New York Jets with Sam Darnold. Whenever I saw the Jets take Sam Darnold, I was actually pretty excited. I felt like this was going to be the dawn of a brand new era, but they didn't really do much to surround him with talent. As a matter of fact, the talent around him got worse and worse as the years went on. After year 1, they got rid of Todd Bowles. They would then draft Jamal Adams and then trade Jamal Adams, and I know Jamal Adams is being memed, and technically a lot of people will say the New York Jets won that trade, but I digress. Then, of course, there's the signing of Le'Veon Bell, and then the cutting of Le'Veon Bell, and eventually Sam Darnold got traded when a brand new front office came in. But then there are cases like Patrick Mahomes, who comes in, the team gives him the right amount of time to sit down and learn behind a veteran, former #1 overall pick, and a very intelligent professional like Alex Smith. Make sure that he has a decent amount of weapons around him like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Kareem Hunt, and make sure that he is comfortable with the offensive system in Kansas City. As a result, sometimes good things happen. And then you have a case like Kyler Murray, who from the very beginning it appeared as though Cliff Kingsbury had a huge crush on the guy. I don't know if you guys remember, but during the 2018 NFL draft, a lot of old interviews of Cliff Kingsbury were resurfacing about how much he loved Kyler Murray.
Kyler is, I mean, he's a freak, man. Purdy's a really good young player, and he's going to be a tremendous player, but Kyler is a freak, and I've followed him since he was a sophomore in high school, and just think the world of him and what he can do on a football field. And I've never seen one better in high school, and he's starting to show it now at the college level. And I mean, I don't have enough good things to say about him. He's phenomenal. I've never seen him have a poor outing, not one, which at quarterbacks it's impossible to do, but he's done it. And I don't know, I'd take him with the first pick of the draft if I could. I know he's signed up to play baseball, but he is a dominant football player, and I would take him with the first pick.
I want to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Bounty Sports. Guys, you know me personally, I do love playing daily fantasy sports, and Bounty Sports is by far the best platform to do it on. They built a pick'em style daily fantasy sports platform that gives everyone a fair chance to win. It's incredibly easy to play and offers a fun, low stakes gaming experience that'll get you a little bit more into your favorite games. Just pick the teams that you think will win the night's game, play against other fans, and win cash prizes. It's as simple as that. Bounty has contests for NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, MMA, soccer, golf, and more, and there's new contests that are live every day. Now, I always say the best websites will let you try their product for free, and that's what Bounty is doing with me here by letting you use my promo code Mikerophone to get $5 automatically added to your account. So let's put this $5 to good use, shall we? Now, signing up is super easy. You just go over here and put in all your information, and make sure you put my referral code Mikerophone. And then once you're on the website, you do have multiple contests that you could pick from. Let's see if they have anything for the NFL. They have a nice little pick'em for next week's NFL games. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this. All right, this one should be cake, man. The Miami Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, definitely the Dolphins. and you just pick your games over here. And once you're done picking all of your games, you could enroll right over here. And hopefully we could turn this $5 free referral bonus into $360. So we're gonna confirm right here, and we are now enrolled. It's as simple as that. Make sure you use my promo code to get the $5 free bonus, and hopefully you could turn out to make some money off of this. At the very least, it's an extra way to get more engaged and into the games. And thank you, Bounty Sports, for the sponsor. And as a result, ultimately the Arizona Cardinals made the bizarre but the correct decision of drafting another quarterback with the #1 overall pick just a year after drafting Josh Rosen with the #10 overall pick. After Kyler Murray's rookie campaign, it appeared as though they made the right decision here, as he threw 20 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, completed 64% of his completions for over 3,700 passing yards. In addition to that, it appeared as though Cliff Kingsbury's air raid offense, which, by the way, bear in mind, a lot of people were accusing Cliff Kingsbury of potentially being a fraud. Bear in mind that this is the man that was able to coach Patrick Mahomes during his time at Texas Tech, then said, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and be the offensive coordinator for the USC Trojans after he left Texas Tech with an overall record of 35-40. And then very shortly after, he said, you know what? I'm not going to go ahead and join the USC Trojans. I'm going to join the Arizona Cardinals 1 year after they fired their head coach, Steve Wilks. And there were a lot of questions about whether or not Cliff Kingsbury was hired because of his offensive prowess, or whether he was hired because the NFL is currently going through a phase where they love hiring very young coaches like Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, and Zach Taylor. And Cliff Kingsbury joins all of them, although he was not as young as Sean McVay when he was hired. Well, ultimately, I think the Cardinals did a lot of right after a couple of years of doing a lot of wrong. But in addition to that, they just seem to be a team that made very smart decisions. For example, the famous DeAndre Hopkins trade, which, in my opinion, they were practically gifted this man. All they had to do was give up a running back that was clearly past his prime, and a second-round pick, and a fourth-round pick, and they were able to receive DeAndre Hopkins in return. Now Kyler Murray had a go-to weapon just 1 year after performing very well, with his best wide receiver being an aging Larry Fitzgerald. The year after, we saw Kyler Murray improve. He completed 67% of his passes for 3,971 yards and 26 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. This brings us all the way to this past offseason, where the Arizona Cardinals were practically memed for some of their additions, signing players like JJ Watt and AJ Green. A lot of people said that the Arizona Cardinals were starting to resemble a NFL retirement home. Now, the funny thing is, the Arizona Cardinals were absolutely remarkable this season. At the time that I'm making this video, they're the only undefeated team in the NFL. JJ Watt is a phenomenal compliment to Chandler Jones. Isaiah Simmons is starting to come to his own as well. And it seems like they are just going to continue to add more veteran talent that could contribute to that entire team. So last night, the Philadelphia Eagles took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they got their butts kicked live on national TV. And very shortly after, we saw this one clip of Zach Ertz emotionally walking into the locker room. So you had to have thought that he knew something was going down. And well, this morning we woke up to some breaking news, according to Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, that the Philadelphia Eagles are sending three-time Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz to the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for cornerback Tay Gowan and a 2022 fifth-round pick. Now, according to Adam Schefter, although Zach Ertz has wanted a brand new contract, he and the Arizona Cardinals have not discussed one yet, per sources. But Arizona is acquiring Zach Ertz with the idea of making him a regular feature part of its offense, and Ertz told others in the past that Arizona has appealed to him. This is crazy because Zach Ertz played last night, and that was quite a risk, because the Philadelphia Eagles knew they were going to trade him today, and any kind of injury ruins this deal. Now, according to Mikerophone, the Eagles have received inquiries in recent days on Dallas Goedert. Those sources say the team was never inclined to move him, and Ertz was always more likely to be dealt. The hope is they'll work out a long-term deal in the near future. They've only had brief talks thus far. In regards to the Philadelphia Eagles, they tweeted out this thank you for everything you contributed on and off of the field. Thank you, Zach Ertz. Obviously, Zach Ertz is notorious for scoring the final game-winning touchdown in the only Super Bowl victory in the Philadelphia Eagles franchise history. And to be honest, the way I perceive this entire situation is Howie Roseman mentioned that Tyree Jackson's potential emergence as a legitimate tight end is the reason the Eagles felt comfortable dealing Ertz. And after that, I believe that the Philadelphia Eagles just wanted to do right by the man. I mean, this is a man that has contributed a lot to your franchise, so why not send him to a place where he could be competitive during the final stretch of his career? Now, Zach Ertz is in his 9th season in the NFL, and he hasn't necessarily been a dominant tight end since the 2019 NFL season. Obviously, last year he had some injury issues, and there's been a lot of volatility in regards to the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback and head coaching situation. So as a result, he hasn't been producing as much. But if you ask me, I believe the potential is still there. And I think this is really exciting for both Zach Ertz and Kyler Murray, because now you have a stable of DeAndre Hopkins, Zach Ertz, and AJ Green to throw to. Max Williams was already pretty solid for the Arizona Cardinals as well. Christian Kirk and Rondale Moore were dominating. You have Chase Edmonds and James Conner, who have been really solid as your running backs. This team definitely has the potential to be a very special team, and honestly, for the Arizona Cardinals, this is a extremely low-risk, high-reward addition once again. Zach Ertz is only 32 years old, and I understand for some professions that might be a little bit more on the older side, but then you remember Travis Kelce is 33 years old. And in my opinion, I believe Zach Ertz has an ability to potentially thrive in this brand new system that he's in. I am a huge believer that if the situation for a player isn't right, if the team isn't necessarily competitive, you're probably going to see his production decline a little bit. And I believe that was kind of what was happening to Zach Ertz, in addition to the injuries that he was dealing with. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this trade? If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, how do you feel about the fact that Zach Ertz is gone? If you're an Arizona Cardinals fan, how do you feel about your brand new addition? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.